Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We have been looking at the 18th chapter, which is itself a summary of the entire Bhagavad Gita, starting with Karma Yoga as a preparation for Jnanam, and what is this Jnanam, what is this vision, etc., and how to gain this vision. All of this is going to be retold, but not retold in the same way, because what's the fun if it's retold in the same way? May as well go back and read the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, all the other chapters. So it's going to be retold in a manner that is engaging us. Us means who? The people who have studied from 3 to 17. That us. So people who have studied from 3 to 17, it's re-engaging us in a way that is extremely catching, because it is at a different level of maturity. It's a different level of emotional maturity and spiritual evolution. Because when we studied the second chapter and where we are now, there has been a growth. And the Bhagavad Gita acknowledges that growth. Before, it was presenting everything in an aseptic, kind of an impersonal manner. If you look at the second chapter, the Atma, the Atma is this. And then now, you are this. Karta is this. You are not the Karta. So, before it was presenting how Atma is not the Karta. And what this Atma is, it was just an abstraction. It was anybody's guess. What does it do? Where is it? What does it look like? All this was anybody's guess. So, but now, what is it? It is a reality. It is nothing other than I. So, it's going to be presented in I terms. So much so that it helps in the assimilation. It's not just a review, but it is also something that eases the continued assimilation of the knowledge. So to this extent, from this standpoint, we saw verses 1 to 12 we haven't yet gone to 12, right? Yeah, we are still in the middle. We are not in 7 or 8. 11. So 11? Yes. Okay. So verses 1 to 12 are Karma Yoga, different ways to discuss and bring in Karma Yoga. So after we do verse 12, we will see how it is different. How it is different than chapters 2 and 3. How chapter 3 presented Karma Yoga and how this is presenting Karma Yoga. Same Karma Yoga, but how it is much more owned up version of the Karma Yoga. It's much more of an assimilated version of the Karma Yoga. Then, having discussed Karma Yoga as a means to Jnanam, and then from verses 13 to 17 will be a discussion of Jnanam. What is Atma Jnanam? Same thing that was there. Achedyo yamaha adahyoyam akledyo shoshya evacha nityas sarvagatam sthanuhu achaloyam sanatanaha. So, what is the nature of this Atma? What is this I? All that is going to be told again. Who is this? Who is this I? Is going to be told from the standpoint of again myself. It's not like that Atma, Saha Atma, no. Aham, I. How do I walk? How do I talk? And what is this that I am? Very beautiful, ingenious discussion. And from the 18th to the 40th verse is a longer topic about certain factors involved in action and what is the difference between knowledge and action, all these things. So many So many topics are there that we will see when we come to that. But for now, let us see how Karma Yoga is presented and how Jnanam, Atma Jnanam is also going to be presented. You can come here. You can come. So, we had stopped at 10. Nadveshti akushalam karma kushalena anushajjate tyagi sattva samavishtaha medhavi chinna samshayah. So this karma yoga is presented in the form of tyaga. What is tyaga? Renunciation. So karma yoga is indistinguishable from sannyasa, which is also what? Tyaga. So what is the difference between a karma yogi and a sannyasi according to Lord Krishna? Nothing, only the lifestyle difference. One wears orange and the other doesn't wear orange, that's all. May wear orange but not all the time. And so this is the only difference. Both have tyaga in common. Both of them are not identifying as the karta, correct? Both of them are saying that the karma phala, I am not interested. Both of them are giving up the karma phala because they are not doing the work for the sake of karma phala. And so both are one and the same. Here's a big surprise. So the paripakva karma yogi, the karma yogi that gains what is called paripakvata. What is paripakvata? Well cooked karma yogi. 3 whistles in the pressure cooker. So some pressure is felt in karma yoga. Otherwise it's not going to be of any use. Without pressure you can't become a happy karma yogi. First one is what? Enforced, chained, bonded, tied up karma yogi. Nobody takes to this life like, oh, this is such a breeze. Oh, get stepped on by everybody, not a problem. Oh, you want to disturb me? Go right ahead. And then what else? You want to walk all over my dreams and aspirations and goals? Yeah, no problem. What will you do? Nothing. I will just say that since I can't do anything about it, I will let go of these things and go somewhere else or take to some other kind of a lifestyle. It's okay. Nobody does that. In the beginning, Karma Yoga is, what is that? Karma Yoga in 3D. Despair, despondency and dejection. Okay, that is what it is. It's all just so difficult. Everything is difficult. Prasada buddhi, very, 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 very tough. Who is he to give prasada to me? And that to this one. Other person keeps getting laddus. What do I get? Bitter gourd, Karela. Why should I have prasada buddhi? Tell the other person to have prasada buddhi, not me. You don't give all these lectures. Then do the work, but then dedicate the actions to Bhagavan. How to dedicate? I have done the work. I need the little bit of credit. Because my life story is such, I do the work and there is one, what is that? One person carrying elaichi. Elaichi means the fragrance. So I make the whole kheer. You know what kheer is, right? By now? Yeah. I make the whole kheer. And the elaichi powder wala comes and sprinkles the elaichi powder on top. And then a wonderful aroma wafts into the air. Somebody says, who did that? And the elaichi wala says, me. And takes away the credit. I have done everything right from the beginning. And so somebody else takes, and here I am supposed to dedicate everything to Bhagavan. All this is very difficult. In the beginning it is extremely difficult. Karma yoga without tyaga is not karma yoga at all. So then this tyaga is very difficult, but it has its payoff. And when the tyaga fructifies, I told you, 3 whistles in the pressure cooker. Some noise should come and some loud, whistling sounds should come. That's the cry of the jiva. Then what happens? Then after that, you turn off the stove. Bhagavan turns off the stove. And then everything is shanta. And you slowly open the cooker and Paripakva Karma Yogi is there. A well seasoned Karma Yogi. Paripakva means seasoned. Well seasoned Karma Yogi. And this is what is the discussion. It's at a very different level. There it was A for apple, B for ball of Karma Yoga. Here it is just a PhD thesis on Karma Yoga, where the Lord equates Karma Yoga directly to sannyasa. Like in the Chandogya Upanishad, the bold statement which we talked about a few days ago is made, Acharyavan Purusho Veda. Similarly, here also, if you have Karma Yoga, what do you have? Medhavi, you become a Medhavi, you become a Jnani. Straight away you become a Jnani. Because of course it is assumed you are studying, because nobody takes to a life of Karma Yoga just for the sake of Karma Yoga. You take to a life of Karma Yoga for the sake of Atma Jnanam. So this is why the pleasant and the unpleasant do not touch the person. Yes, this area is a very sensitive area. The mic has its own opinions of what I should and should not say. So the notions of pleasant and unpleasant must not touch the person at all, will not touch the person, because the person has been practicing Karma Yoga, is an expert in that sense, has it under the belt. And this we have seen there will be some correlations. We will also look at those verses as and when. And so one of the correlation is this, in the 12th chapter it was said, Shubha Shubha Parityagi. Notions of auspicious and inauspicious were given up. Sachame bhaktaha, yomad bhaktaha, sachame priyaha. That kind of a devotee is dear to me. Devotee means what? Jnani. And so that kind of a jnani is dear to me. Here also, akushala and kushala. Kushala means shubha. Akushala means ashubha. Auspicious and inauspicious. There is nothing auspicious and inauspicious. It's all things that need to be done, and I am the one who is in the position of my role to do them, and I am going to do them. I am going to do them. And so that is the idea. And what happens to such a person? The person is bitter, bored, out of their mind. No, that's not what happens to the person. Look at the second line of the 10th verse. What happens? Tyagi sattva samavishtaha, is surrounded by sattva, is dressed in sattva. And then medhavi becomes a medhavi, means jnani. What kind of a jnani? The jnani whose knowledge is not riddled with doubt, vagueness or error. These are the 3 pratibandhas to knowledge, 3 obstacles to knowledge. There is doubt. Am I Brahman or am I not? This is one thing. This is called samshaya. And then this is what kind of samshaya? Pramanagata samshaya. Prameyagata samshaya. This is, what is Brahman? How can I be Brahman? Prameyagata. Prameya means that which is to be known, which is Ishvara, Brahman. How can I be that? Then there is Pramanagata samshaya. Samshaya is centered on the Pramana. Why only study? Why can't I get this through meditation? Why can't I get this through sitting on a mountain top? Why can't I get this through so many spiritual sadhanas? Why only knowledge? This is what? Pramanagata samshaya. So the samshayas are gone. So doubts are gone, but there is a vagueness. What is the vagueness? Sometimes I am Brahman, sometimes I am not. What is this? I don't know. and so that vagueness also is gone. Sometimes there is no vagueness. I'm sure that I'm not Brahman. It's an out and out mistake, error. So the knowledge that is free of doubt, error, viparyaya, samshaya, etc. is called, that person is called chinna samshaya. So medhavi chinna samshaya. And then concluding this portion, some more verses are there. Let us see, two more verses are there. Nahi deha vrita shakyam tyaktum karmanya sheshatah yastu karma phalatyagi satyagītyabhidhīyate. Don't make the mistake, the Lord tells Arjuna one more time, because this is a very interesting orientation. What is the orientation of the masses of people? Sannyasis just sit. We do all the hard work. They sit, they enter the room, everybody gives them a bouquet, everybody gives them a garland. They don't do anything. And this is a misnomer, this is a wrong impression. Because obviously what sannyasa is not understood here. And so here he repeats an oft quoted verse, which was there in chapter 3 also. Nahi kaschit kshanamapi jata tishthatya karma krit karyate hyavashah karma sarvah prakriti jair gunaihi. Which verse is that? Chapter 3. Nahi kaschit kshanamapi jata tishtati akarma krit. Same meaning. Fifth verse. Very good. That's why I'm making you look at it. Because I want you to have that cross reference. And when you go through the actual work of taking it out, chanting it, looking at it, then what happens? Fifth verse. So, chapter 3. So, then what happens is that that Spuranam takes place, that connection takes place. There he says, Lord Krishna says, Nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu tishtati akarmakrit. Akarmakrit means the one who is not doing karma is unable to sit even for a second without doing anything. Karyate hi avashaha karma. Karyate. Karyate means it makes him do. She makes him do. Who? The wife? No. Not the spouse. Who makes him do? Prakriti. Maya, avidya, that keeps everything in motion. Because I don't know this avidya, what does she do? She makes me have desires, and because of the desires I can't sit still. I have to constantly keep trying to fulfill those desires, so I am always in motion. Everything is always in motion. Prakriti jaihi gunaihi, with the gunas, sattva, rajas, tamas. Born of Prakriti, one is somehow consigned to action. Nobody can sit without doing action. Don't confuse actionlessness for Atmajnanam, Arjuna. That particular section in chapter 3 said that. The same thing is being iterated here, underscored here. Nahi deha bhrita shakyam. It is not possible for the one who is carrying a body. Deha bhrit, the one who carries a body, sustaining a body. It cannot be possible by an embodied person to give up karma completely by not doing anything. So therefore what? How do I gain actionlessness? If actionlessness, naishkarmya, is called atmajnanam, then how do I become actionless? If I am consigned to doing action, how to become actionless? The only way to become actionless, he says, is to give up the results of action. Do not identify, do not catch, do not get enmeshed in, do not have a codependent relationship with the results of action. That is the only way to come out of that. No other way. Okay. So this is this is the way, very beautifully. So the renunciation of action, the renunciation of the results of action is what makes you a tyagi. Who is a tyagi? The one who is a karma yogi, but then who is also a sannyasi. But here, Arjuna, not being fit for sannyasa, is told to become an unofficial sannyasi in his life, which is very possible. You don't need anybody's permission. And you don't have to keep wearing orange. You can wear whatever you like. But inside, you are free. How to be free? Don't identify with the results of action. He doesn't say how. We say Ishvararpana buddhya karma kuru kuru. We say have Ishvararpana buddhi, because we have to bring in something where the karma can go, where the results can come and be accepted. We need a little central station, which is the altar of surrender, like a warehouse, where the karmas all go and where the karma phalas come, and we get our parcels of karma phala. We collect them. This is just on an empirical basis. This is just on the empirical basis. This is not absolute. This is just on the day-to-day basis, empirical basis. We talk about this, not on the paramarthika level at all. Why? Why do we need Ishvara? We need Ishvara because we don't control what actions give what kind of results. We don't control. No, maybe it is random. Well, if you want to call Ishvara Randomeshvara, go ahead. We don't have any problem. For you it is Randomeshvara. That's all it is. We call that Ganesha. You can call him Randomesha. No problem. What you call random, we call Ishvara. Because really there is no such thing called random. Random means what? Then everything should be flying all over the place. But yet there is gravity. You can study it. You can do this. They can even predict how much this leaning tower of Pisa is going to tilt in which year and how and what kinds of remedies they have to do to make it keep it standing up. They can predict all because of gravity. The gravitational force is not to be laughed at. Even the most distant planets which we didn't even know, and some of them were right here, we didn't even know they were there because we didn't have a deep space telescope now called the James Webb telescope. It is just so fascinating. You look into this and then you see a nursery of baby stars. Stars in their cradles, having little feeding bottles. The stars are born and they play there. It's amazing. Baby stars, just being born. Just being born? No. We have to count where this cradle is. How many billions of light years away it is. And we have to calculate the time it has reached. It has taken to reach the telescope, meaning our eyes. And then that's how old the stars are. We are just looking at their baby photos now. Maybe they are 14 billion years old. We don't know. Then we have all these Goldilocks planets. What are Goldilocks planets? Neither too hot nor too cold. Right in the center. Capable of hosting life. Why are we interested in things that host life? Because we know that we are making a mess of this planet. So we may have to find something else before too long. We have to just go there and sit. They're already thinking of building condos on the moon. Now that they ascertained that it has water, they just crashed some satellites into the moon to ascertain it had water. The Veda kept saying the moon is nothing but water. But nobody relied on the Veda. They had to go and do it their own way. But that's how it is. So so we have all these things for the farthest recesses of the earth, of of the solar system, of space itself. Now it's all brought near, and it's all just very much accessible. It's very much, we see that oneness, the oneness that is there in the Bhagavad Gita, we see that. And the same rules apply. If there is life elsewhere, and if there is a human-like life, they too will be insecure. They too will want freedom. And they may not have Bhagavad Gita, but they will have some other thing. Some other thing just like this teaching will also come. Along with the discontent, the teaching will also come. So therefore, nothing is random. Nothing at all is random. The gravitational force, the strong force, the weak force, the nuclear force, this is the forces upon which the whole, the system is studied. They all are predictable. They all can be studied. You can make future, predictions based on, and then you can make discoveries based on this. It's just amazing. So that there is intelligence, which seems above and beyond this tiny pea brain that I have, that it will not fit in all this. So that intelligence is what we call Ishvara. That order is the manifestation of Ishvara. And so we can either say, Ishvara arpana buddhya karma kuru, do karma after giving this all up to Ishvara. That was stage number 1 back in chapter 3. Now what? It's just a statement. What is the statement here? This Naishkarmya Siddhi, the not attaching to the karma phala is something that is already what? Perfected. Naishkarmya Siddhi, Naishkarmya Siddhi means actionlessness. The accomplishment of actionlessness is perfected by letting go of the codependent relationship with the results of action. That is how it is accomplished. Do you see the difference of how we studied before and how it is now? This is all so much grown up as we are. Fantastic. So on a very, very mature and a different level. That was KG. In chapter 3, we were in KG. And now what? PhD. Yes. From KG to PhD. So then, yastu karma phalatyagi, and see, it's not, he doesn't say karma phalatyaga, he says tyagi. Tyagi and tyaga, what's the difference? Tyaga, action. Tyagi, actor. Tyagi means who? You. That's the only tyagi here. Or if you say, no, it must be talking about somebody else. I am not a tyagi. In fact, that's not my last name. If you say that, then, Bhagavan will say, even if you are not a tyagi, what are you? Tyagi wannabe. You are a wannabe tyagi. That's what you want to be. You want to be a tyagi. You may not be, but you want to be that. So that is who you are. And that is how by being a tyagi, by being a giver-upper of not action, but the result of action, you have made it. You have really made what? You have become actionless. Just very fascinating, beautiful. Then, summing up, verse number 12. Anishtamishtam mishram cha Trividham karmanah phalam Bhavatyattyagina pretya Natu sannyasinam kvachit. So, anishtam, ishtam and Anishtam. Ishtam means what? Something that is an object of delight. Ishta. Have pity.
11. Say 11. F means for.
Turiya, 4. Anishtam. What is Anishtam? Yeah. Yeah. No, Ishta, desired. Anishta, undesired. Simple. Mishram. What is Mishram? Mixed up of a little bit of this, little bit of that. Little bit undesired, little bit desired. Trividham karmanah phalam. Karmanah phalam means what? The results of action are threefold. I love this, I hate this, and then what? How was the holiday? This is Mishra. Sign language. In America, this is very popular. I don't see people doing this in India. In America, you ask people, how is your new job? Meaning, the pay is good, up. The commute is bad. I have to go in traffic. Not good. How are the children? Meaning, they are not in jail, thank God. They are not in prison. But they don't listen to anything we say. And final question. What is the final question? How is the marriage? No translation needed. The hand starts to tremble. This is what is called Mishram. Ishtam, I love it. Anishtam, can't handle it. Mishram, in between. Iti trividham karmanah phalam. 3 types of karma phalas are there. And then everybody is going, finally Krishna is, I'm understanding what Krishna is saying. He has come down from all this highfalutin PhD talk of Naishkarmya Siddhi. Now he is talking my language. Ishtam, Anishtam, Mishram. Okay, got it. Further, what do you want to say about it? Well, Krishna says, this division, this threefold division is not for you. What? Who is it for? That for the KG students. This is not for the PhD students. Then why are you discussing it? I am just discussing it to remind you how you were earlier. This does not touch you. In fact, karma phala, which is seen as good, bad, middling, is no longer your fate. No longer, you can never say that this is my fate. You can never say that this is good. You can never say that this is bad. Why? Because you have grown into a tyagi. Tyagi of what? Karma phala tyagi. So if you have, think about this. This is the twist here. If you have given up karma phala completely, then who is going to analyze whether it is good, bad or middling? It is given up. After you throw away the garbage, do you think about, let me divide the garbage into 3 categories. Beloved pieces in the garbage. Absolutely detestable pieces in the garbage. And then in between in the garbage. Do you do that? No. What is thrown away, you don't even remember. When you are about to throw the garbage, do you call a press conference? And all the news channels, look, I am throwing away a big bag of garbage. In fact, we feel ashamed that there is a big bag of garbage. We feel sad, so much plastic, so much, what is that called, non-biodegradable stuff. What is this earth coming to? So when the karma phala has been given up, then why discuss what kind of karma phala it was? When everything that leftover food was thrown away, then why discuss whether it's good or bad or in between? This is to show that I have come a long way. I am no longer in this orbit of dividing the karma phala into according to my likes, dislikes and in between. That is for the person who has not given up the karma phala. This is what the Lord says. Ishtam, anishtam, mishram. This kind of a trividham karmanah phalam bhavati. It is there. For whom? Atyaginam. Atyaginam. Atyaginam means what? One who is not a tyagi. Very good. Atyaginam. For the one who is not a tyagi, these divisions exist. These divisions are not for me. These divisions are not for me who is desirous of growing out of these divisions. If I am interested in growing out of these divisions, even though the divisions make sense, even though I agree with the divisions, even though I can relate to the divisions, I am also able to have sakshita. What is sakshita? The ability to observe myself in relation to loving something and detesting something, and I am able to see myself as the lover of X, Y and Z and as the hater of A, B and C, whatever that may be in terms of karma phala. And then what do I say to myself? Aha, I see that I have an attachment here. I see that I have a detestation there. Interesting. I watch. I sit and watch. Before, what would I do? Jump into the fray and identify. And then that would be a recipe for what? Misery. Because when I catch on to ishta, ishta means beloved results. What I consider beloved results of karma, when I catch on to, how can that lead to misery? Because I want to reproduce them. I want to Xerox them. I want to 3D print them. And then what happens? I can't do that. Therefore misery. Misery because the ishta goes away, and then what? Anishta comes. Anishta doesn't seem to have an expiry date. Anishta, okay, maybe tomorrow will be a better day. Anishta, ishta. Little bit of ishta. Then again what? Anishta, ishta. It's not alternating cycles of joy and sorrow. It's mostly sorry go round. Can't call it merry go round. Sorry go round. In between a little, when I'm not nauseous, then in between a little bit of a happy feeling. Mishra. Even though I see that there is a liker in me, there is a disliker in me, I see that. There is one who is ready to identify. But now, with all this teaching, where am I? I am at the place where I can say, I am just going to watch this fellow with him. I'm just going to watch the one who loves. I'm going to watch the one who hates. I'm going to watch the one who is making a running commentary on all the karma phalas. I am not this person. I am who? Satchidanandam Brahma. I am just watching. Just like the monkeys. This afternoon, we watched the monkeys. We did not become the monkeys. We did not do what they did. We just watched them. I was held hostage in the room. I opened the door and they were going through the garbage, and one of them very politely knocked on the door. And it was soon after Ela came. So I thought, okay, she forgot something and she has come again. I opened the door, it was the monkey. I said, I am not going to. I opened just the wooden door. Screen door thankfully was still closed, but he was on two legs and looking inside what is going on. So then watch them do whatever it bared its teeth at one person. So I told that person, please don't come this side, you stay there. I gave him a shout out. It bared the teeth. The other one jumped up and down threateningly. The third one did something else like this. I was able to watch. You also watched all the things they did without really needing to become like them. This is how we are with relation to seeing the karma phalas of various kinds go by. I am the unaffected Sakshi. The one who identifies is what? These divisions exist for the Atyagi. Who am I? Tyagi or Tyagi wannabe. So I am not Atyagi. Why? It is because I have studied the Bhagavad Gita. That is why I am not Atyagi. Bhavati Atyagina. When Bhavati Pretya means what? Even after death, the liker and the disliker and the Mishra, these threefold divisions follow the person after death. Why? The liker is who? The mind. Disliker is who? Also another iteration of the mind. And the mind is part of the Sukshma Shariram or not? Yes. The mind goes, the subtle body goes. And the mind is a passenger in the plane of the subtle body. And the mind says, how much will you charge for excess baggage? I have 2 suitcases, one raga and one dvesha. How much will you charge, please? And the subtle body airline says, it's all free, no charge, no baggage surcharge. Bring on as many bags. That is the subtle body airlines claim to fame. Bring on as many baggage of raga, dvesha, kama, everything. Bring on anger, bring on emotions, bring on everything. We have room for everybody and everything. And it travels through various lokas and then what? Enters into another body according to how the Shruti says. Yatha karma, according to one's karma, according to what the Shruti says. Enters another body and then what? Ishtam, Anishtam, Mishram, already built in. That's why even the 9-month-old child has preferences. You wonder where? How did it learn to like this and not like this? This is where it has brought it in the subtle body airplane. It has brought that. But not for me. Who is this me? I am a Tyagi, which is equal to who? A sannyasi. And so, therefore what? Natu sannyasinam kvachit. This is not for the sannyasi at all. It is only for the Tyagi. And then, this concludes the section on Karma Yoga. It's a very beautiful section, very, very nice. And first we talked about the Sattvic, Rajasic and Tamasic karmas. And then after that we talked about the Karma Yoga. Sattvika karma means Karma Yoga. What this Karma Yoga is, letting go of the results of action, not of the action itself. We don't let go of prayer, we don't let go of charity, we don't let go of any kind of religious austerities, mental discipline, etc. Those are all helping us. We only let go of the results of action. That's how we become sannyasis. Now, verses 13 to 18 is Atmajnana. Again put in a very, very interesting way. Panchaitani mahabaho Karanani nibodhame Sankhye kritante proktani Siddhaye sarva karmanam. This is a list. So he says these two verses will be a list. First is the introduction. A very unique way to talk about Atma Jnana. O Arjuna, what? Understand that these 5 causes, there are 5 causes for the accomplishment of all action. In order to do an action, there should be 5 factors. Pancha etani, these 5 factors. Pancha etani karanani. 5 factors of action are there. Shrinu, listen to them. Nibodha me, understand them from me. Why? Because nobody else will tell them better than me. You have the best teacher, Bhagavan is reminding him. You ask for this knowledge, therefore listen to them from me. So why are you talking about this? Because this is all Shastrik. It was talked about in the Sankhya. Sankhya what? Sankhya system of philosophy, which specializes in the discussion of gunas. So this is what it's going to be. It's going to talk about gunas. And so some more, discussion of gunas are going to be upcoming, especially from verses 18 to 40. We will see that. But then this is just an introduction to that section. And then he says that Sankhya Proktani, this was talked about in the Sankhya system of philosophy. And where did the Sankhya system of philosophy come from? Me. I am Bhagavan, from me only it came. Kritante cha proktani. Kritante means Vedanta. In Vedanta Shastra also it was talked about, it has been talked about. So in other words, this has a Shastrik stamp. I am not just coming out of it from my head. It is coming from the Shastra. Bhagavan doesn't need to say it's coming from the Shastra, because where did the Shastra come from? Bhagavan. This is the 3rd Brahma Sutra, Shastra Yonitvat, and it is repeated twice because there are 2 derivations. Shastram Yonihi Yasya Jnanasya Tat Shastra Yoni Tasmat Shastra Yonitvat. So Shastra Yonitvat means the Shastra is the cause, has come from which source? That. That is the Shastra Yoni. Shastrasya Yoni. Shastra Yoni. So then, Shastrasyapi Yoni, that which is the cause of the Shastra itself. First is Karmani Shashti. Karmani Shashti, Kartari Shashti. Kartari means active Shastra Yoni, Shastrasya Yoni. That which is from where the Shastra has come. And then that from where the cause of the Jagat is revealed. Shastrasyapi Yonihi. Tat. And that Brahman. And so this is why he says, I am the cause, I am the one from which the Shastra has come, and that Shastra tells that there are 5 factors involved in action. I thought we finished the Karma Yoga section. Why are we talking of actions and 5 factors involved in action? I am tired of memorizing. I don't want any more lists. Just tell me Jnanam and then be done with it. What is this you are keeping on now, backtracking and taking me down making me make more lists? This is a very unique discussion. Not asking anybody to make lists here. What is this? It is to differentiate oneself from all the factors of action. When these factors of action are going to be listed, you will see that you don't feature there anywhere at all. Pashya. Next one. Sharira Vangmano Bhiryat. Oh, I skipped one. Yeah. I thought so. Yeah. Adhishthanam tatha karta. Karana च पृथग्विधम् विविधाश्च पृथक् चेष्टाः दैवं चैवात्र पञ्चमम्. So these 5 things are listed, very unique list. Adhishthanam. What is Adhishthanam? That which is situated in the next to the lecture hall. No? Okay. Adhishthanam means physical body. Annamaya kosha. Adhishthanam. Why are you calling it Annamaya kosha? Because this is a locus of mistake. A missed take. This is a place of error. What? The physical body, which is taken to be what? I. Physical body is I. If somebody holds the hand, what will the person say? Don't touch me. Nobody says don't touch the hand. Don't touch me. And then if somebody does something and it hurts the mind, you have hurt me. Correct? And so there is all these layers of identification. So adhishthanam. And then what else? What is the next one? Tatha. In the same way, karta. Karta. Karta here is what? Doer. The notion that I am a doer. Corresponding to Vijnanamaya kosha. Vijnanamaya kosha is karta. Another locus of error. Mistake is made saying I am the karta. Karanam cha prithak vidham. Karanam cha prithak vidham is pranamaya kosha. Prithak vidham means different kinds of karanas. Prana, apana, all these things. Then vividhaha prithak bhavaha manomaya kosha. And then Daivam. Daivam means the presiding deities of all the body, the mind and the senses. These are the factors involved in action. Don't say, where is Anandamaya Kosha? Anandamaya Kosha means what? Sleep. Yeah, so the waker is not awake here. So the mistake is committed in these 4 areas. The doer. The notion that I am a doer, the notion that I am as good as the mind, the notion that I am as good as the physiological processes in the body, prana, etc., and the notion that I am what? As good as the body. And then finally, Daivam. Daivam means because of whose grace, exactly what we are seeing in the Kathopanishad. Shrotrasya shrotram manaso manoyat vachoha vacham sa upranasya pranaha. In fact, it was asked ka udevaha yunakti in the question. That's exactly what is being talked about here. Because of whose grace, you can either take it as adhisthana devataha, these devatas, or you can directly take it as Bhagavan. Doesn't matter, it's all the same. So Daivam means that grace which enables the Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha to function, all of them. And then, so the body, mind, sense complex is involved here. And then this is these are the fivefold, what is that? Fivefold causes for any action. Further, Shariravam manobhiryat Karma prarabhate naraha Nyayam va viparitam va Panchaite tasya hetavaha. So, Sharira, body, vak, speech, manaha, mind, manobhihi, yat karma prarabhate naraha. So whether it is a physical action, shariram karma, manasam karma, kayikam karma, vachikam karma, manasam karma, oral, verbal action, mental action or physical action. Whichever one the human being initiates, on whichever level the actions, these fivefold are the cause of all action. Meaning, it's not you. It's not you. You who? It's not you. It is the body. It is prakriti. It is ajnanam. It is karta. It is bhokta. Bhokta, no? Karta. And then what else? It is the physiological. It is physical. It's mental. It's emotional. Psychological. All these are not you. In fact, the I associated with these fivefold factors of action has to be slowly recalled, summoned away from identification with that and walked over to Brahman. You are this, you are not that. That is exactly Atmajnana. This is exactly what happens in the teaching situation. The I is taken, walked over from the tentacles, octopus-like tentacles of identification with the body-mind-sense complex to that I, which is the truth of itself, to the real Adhisthana. Even though this is called Adhisthana, this is not the Adhisthana. Adhisthana is Brahman. The Adhisthana, which doesn't have another Adhisthana, that Adhisthana alone is Brahman, and being there is no more kaya klesha, there is no more physical difficulty. Mana klesha is not there. No klesha, no difficulty, no sorrow. Because I am not identifying with the perishable all the time. Everything that comes to an end, if I identify, what will happen to me? I will become a bundle of a basket case, bundle of misery. And so here, these five are the hetus. But then he says some people get deluded. Let us read that. Tatraivam sati kartaram Atmanam kevalam tuyah Pashyati akrita buddhitvat न स पश्यति दुर्मतिः तत्र एवं, even this setup being so that the I is not involved in any action at all. For akrita buddhi means asamskrita buddhi, because due to the buddhi not being seasoned by emotional maturity, it is not able to accept and internalize the knowledge. So therefore, karta aham iti manyate. It continues, such a buddhi continues in the face of all the knowledge to believe that it is a karta, and therefore shochati. Shochati means what? Grivati. Yes, grieves. Griva means neck in Sanskrit. So shochati, cries. Why? All because of this wrong identification. See the contrast? There the Atma was presented as a kind of a sterile, whitewashed something far away. It cannot be burnt, it cannot be destroyed, it cannot be destroyed by air, water, fire, nothing. And here it's all me. It's being presented from a very personal and a very immediate way. Very beautiful. More we shall see when tomorrow. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.